What was it really like to be a gladiator? Gustavo is now a gladiator. Sand under his feet, crowd roaring, sword in hand, and he's about to learn that almost everything the movies told him is wrong, starting with the most famous fact of all, that they fought to the death every time. They didn't, not even close. Scholars estimate that for every 10 gladiators who walked into the arena, about 9 walked back out alive. Fights to the death were the exception, not the rule, and usually only happened if the wealthy sponsor paying for the show specifically demanded it, which cost extra. Why? Money. A trained gladiator was a hugely expensive investment, months of food, training, and care. Letting him die every weekend made about as much sense as buying the most expensive machine at the gym and smashing it for fun. Gustavo, it turns out, is valuable, mostly, and here's the part nobody expects. It was a regulated sport, with referees. Every serious match had an official called the summa rudis, a referee, often a retired gladiator, holding a long staff. He could pause the fight, separate the fighters, give them a moment to rest, drink, get a rub down, and then send them back in. Basically boxing rounds with cornermen, 2,000 years early. Fighters were even matched by Type A, lightly armored guy with a net and trident against a slower, heavily armored one for a fair, watchable contest. So mid-fight, Gustavo gets a timeout, a sip of water, and a quick towel down. And yes, the refs blew calls. We actually have a gladiator's tombstone complaining that a referee's bad decision got him killed. VAR controversy, 1,800 years before football. Now, the body. Forget the chiseled Hollywood six-pack. Real gladiators were, on purpose, kind of fat. Their nickname was hordeari barleymen, because they carb-loaded on barley and beans. The point wasn't to look lean. It was to build a layer of fat over the muscle. That fat acted like armor. It let them take shallow, dramatic, bloody cuts that thrilled the crowd without hitting anything vital. They even drank a tonic of ash for stronger bones. The original dad bod was tactical body armor. Gustavo has never been so happy to be told to eat more bread. And they were famous, like genuinely famous. Popular gladiators were the celebrities of Rome, their faces on pottery and oil lamps, their names scratched as graffiti on walls, treated as full-on sex symbols. Some free men even volunteered for the arena, chasing the fame and the money, signing a brutal contract swearing to endure being burned, bound, beaten, and killed by the sword. Gustavo signs immediately, then quietly hopes nobody reads him that last part again. But here's the honest catch, because the truth matters. The superstars were a small minority. Most gladiators were slaves or prisoners with no choice, and plenty died young and anonymous. This wasn't a fair career. It was a deadly one built on people who mostly didn't volunteer. Still, the day-to-day was less constant carnage than you'd think. Most gladiators only fought around 4 or 5 times a year. The rest of the time, training, eating, recovering, healing up. It was a job with an off-season. Gustavo spends most of his gladiator career doing drills and eating bean stew, which is somehow both safer and more boring than he imagined. And there was a way out. Win enough, get famous enough, and you could be handed a Rudy's, a simple wooden sword. It meant freedom. Retirement. The single most wanted object in the arena wasn't gold or a weapon. It was a toy sword that said, "You're done, you survived. You can go home." Gustavo wants that wooden sword more than anything he's ever wanted. So what was it really like to be a gladiator? Less, everyone dies screaming in a random bloodbath, and more like a brutal, deadly professional sport with referees, rule books, weight management, contracts, superstars, screaming fans, and a retirement plan. Picture a mix of UFC, pro wrestling, and a terrifying union job. But, and this is the part the fun facts shouldn't bury, it was still violent, still deadly, and most of the people in that arena were not free. The twist isn't that being a gladiator was secretly pleasant. It's that it wasn't random chaos at all. It was an industry. A carefully run, money-making spectacle that turned human risk into entertainment and dressed it up so well that we're still buying the tickets. In cinemas, 2,000 years later. Gustavo got his wooden sword, by the way, in his imagination, right before bean stew. Stay curious, and maybe respect the barley.